The views expressed in this podcast are solely based on personal experience and is not intended to replace professional medical advice. Our opinions should not be taken as therapeutic advice, as this podcast is for entertainment and information purposes only.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Police Condition. My name is Ryan, and sitting across from me, and always standing beside me, my lovely wife, Aura.
Hello.
So tonight, we are doing our spooky episode. With Halloween coming up with us in about a week, we've been doing nothing but watching scary movies and just getting excited and getting ready.
Yeah, it hasn't been really any good movies, though.
Yeah, it's been tough to find some good ones.
It's weird.
That's why you always got to go back to the classics.
Yeah, we need to do that.
Yes, we do. Even though we did just watch the newer Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, and that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was good.
So since we were doing spooky stuff, we wanted to do some spooky news stories, some things that are kind of law enforcement related. And we have a couple personal stories, and a friend of mine who I've known for a long, long time sent us in a story about one of his spooky encounters. So looking forward to having a good time tonight.
Spooky.
Spooky. And I like to have fun over here too.
Do you like to have fun?
I like to have fun.
Nice.
So. All right. Do you want to get us started with a story?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Sure.
All right, let's do it.
So I was kind of looking online for different stories. This one I found on Reddit. There was an incident from my hometown that made national news, and it made believers out of many. A young mom and her infant were driving home from a friend's house at night when she crashed her car, which ended upside down in a river. The following day, a fisherman saw the car and called emergency personnel. When law enforcement officials went down to the crash site, 4 different officers heard a distant voice calling, "Help me, help me." Hearing the voice caused them to work frantically and to flip the car over and found a 18-month-old baby alive, strapped in her car seat, hanging upside down. Based on the LEA reports, it is estimated that the car had crashed 14 hours before. The mother died almost instantly from injuries sustained by the crash, and rescuers had no idea where the voice was coming from.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that creepy?
It's like the mom's last-ditch effort to save her baby or something.
Maybe.
That is crazy.
I think the craziest part is the baby was alive 14 hours later upside down.
Upside down, yeah, jeez.
That's interesting.
Infants are resilient, that's for sure. Wow. Well, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do if I heard that and then see that there's no one that could talking.
Yeah.
Unless the baby learned how to talk all of a sudden.
Maybe.
Wow. Well, that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
So let's go to another one that I found. Another one with infants and babies and toddlers.
Alrighty.
Mom, grandma blamed ghost after toddler tests positive for fentanyl.
Oh,
Yeah,
that sounds reasonable.
exactly. 2 women in Newton, North Carolina are facing criminal charges after being accused of causing severe injuries to 2 toddlers in their care. The defense is citing paranormal activity as the cause, according to local ABC affiliate television station WSOC. Emily Marie Edwards, 25, and her mother, Sherry Jean Edwards, 54, were arrested on August 16th following a grand jury indictment on 2 counts, each of a felony child abuse, causing serious bodily injury, law, and crime reports. The charges are based on allegations dating back to December of 23. The court documents reviewed by WSOC said that a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old suffered multiple injuries, including burns, bite marks, and broken bones. Additionally, both children tested positive for fentanyl. When questioned by the Newton Police Department, the Edwards woman repeatedly said that the injuries were a result of an evil spirit within the apartments in Newton, about 40 miles from Charlotte, North Carolina. According to the Newton Police Chief, Badal Sipi, the woman mentioned that they had been using a Ouija board, which is used to attempt to communicate with spirits, and suggested that the injuries were inflicted by these spirits during nightmares the children experienced. The basic responses was nightmares, Sippy explained to WSOC-TV. They heard the kids yelling and went over to find injuries on them. They claimed the spirits in the house were responsible for these injuries. The indictment accuses the women of acting with reckless disregard for life and failing to report the extensive injuries observed on the toddlers. The court documents detail the children's injuries and suggest that the abuse was a result of actions taken by the mother and the grandmother. Sippy also said that there was possibly a third adult involved who passed away earlier this year, according to WSOC TV. Neighbors in the area have expressed skepticism about the Edwards account of the events. One neighbor, who also spoke to the TV channel, dismissed the notions of paranormal activity, saying, "I think that's crazy." Currently, both women are being held in Catawba County Jail with bonds set at $25,000 each, according to the radio station. Emily Edwards has already appeared in court on Monday, August 19th, but her next hearing has not been scheduled. Sherry Edwards is due to appear in court October 7th. Newsweek has reached out to the Newton Police Department for further details. So, the one part which I found kind of crazy about that was there was a third person involved who died earlier that year.
Mm.
But they were using a Ouija board, and these children were injured by it. So, what if the Ouija board was to contact the person who died earlier that year, and that person was the piece of shit?
Feeding everybody fentanyl?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Why wouldn't they keep it for themselves?
Well, no, I'm saying the dead person actually was attacking the children.
Oh, but where does the fentanyl come in?
I guess they probably druggies that had fentanyl lying around.
It's weird to like put two and two together. Like, and maybe the bite marks and the marks and stuff, and having that as like a third party ghost. But where does the drugs come in?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like a ghost is feeding him fentanyl.
Yeah, keep
Here,
him for himself.
take this.
It's gonna make you feel good.
It's weird because every time we watch scary movies or anything, especially with paranormal stuff, I always say, how would they explain this to the cops that all their friends are dead and they're the only ones that survived?
And we're seeing it
and now we're seeing it in real life. Oh man, maybe scary movies are real.
Or are you like, I don't buy that at all?
Yeah, that's just it's crazy. I don't know.
Ouija boards.
Yeah, getting on them Ouija boards. Which in our guest video or sound bite later, he talks about a Ouija board a little bit, but
he does, doesn't he?
We've tried it before.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get much out of it.
No.
Maybe my dad contacted tuberculosis that night, but we were at a haunted hotel in Fort Worth, Texas, and my mom's like, "We should try a Ouija board." I'm like, "Yeah, whatever." So we're doing it, and me, my mom, and Laura are over here doing it, and my dad's just sleeping, but my dad just starts coughing and coughing and coughing. And
He's ruining the game.
He really was. He was ruining it, but it was hilarious because we're like, oh, maybe the ghost is attaching to him, and the ghost had tuberculosis, and he's trying to talk to us, but he can't because he's coughing so much.
We should have paid more attention every time he coughed. The bed shook, so maybe he was trying to like tell us what was going on in like code from the Ouija board.
Maybe, or he was just coughing so damn hard it was shaking the bed.
Oh man.
Yeah. Funny stuff. Spooky though, right?
Spooky.
Great. It's spooky.
It was like a horror house, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like an old whorehouse that people were murdered in and shit. And...
yeah. Of course they're gonna attack the man there. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, what you got for us?
Oh, another one?
Yeah, let's do it.
So we're gonna keep the theme with children. One's a child one too.
Okay.
All right. I was called to a family violence call where the wife called about her husband who had been drinking too much and became physically violent towards her and her 5-year-old son. Arrived second on the scene as I could see another officer outside talking to the distraught woman. As I put the car in park and put my personal phone in the middle of my compartment, like I always do, I heard a faint voice in the back seat of my car saying, "Christmas time is his favorite." It startled me. I could hear it, but it was faint. I immediately got chills because I was the only one in the car. I took a few seconds to gather my sanity and exited the car. As I approached the woman who turned out to be the mom and the other officer, I found out that the husband had punched the woman in the face and had stabbed his son, who was nowhere to be found. The officer that already arrived put handcuffs on him, and he was in the back of his patrol car. Other officers showed up and searched for the 5-year-old for almost an hour. I found my way into the kitchen and felt hopeless we would never find him. As I stood there staring at the refrigerator and all the pictures of this boy, I remembered the creepy voice in my car telling me Christmas time is his favorite. I approached the mother again and asked where they kept their Christmas decorations. She pointed me in the direction of the attic, but it was difficult to get to because it was in her closet and a small door. I told her I needed just a check, and she guided me to it. We found the door, and I went in and discovered the 5-year-old boy crying in a dark corner, and surrounding him was Christmas decorations, and he was covered in blood. There was a lot of blood loss, but thankfully we found him in just enough time to get the care he needed. As the other officer and I were standing outside while the paramedics gathered the boy, he asked how I knew where to look for him. I told him about the voice in my car, and as I told him this, I heard the mother behind us let out a huge cry. She had heard what I had said and began to say, "That had to have been Frankie. He saved his life. Oh my God, Frankie saved his life." Turns out the 5-year-old boy had a twin named Frankie. Frankie died a year prior. Both boys loved Christmas.
Oh, wow.
Chilly.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd like to think of that as like maybe that was just his cop sense, like, well, kids like Christmas, but that's
Yeah. I mean, to know that before you go in there and knowing, like, he didn't know the boy was missing or anything before it happened. So
right.
it's
You just
crazy.
heard it, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Very, very neat. I love how you're getting actual stories, and I just found like news articles.
I was trying to find news articles, but Reddit's a great place for like personal
Well,
stories
that's
like
true.
this.
That's true. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. I mean, thank God they saved his life, but how
Yeah.
sad is that the boy died before too?
Yeah. Which it didn't say how he died. I was kind of curious about that.
I wonder if the father had something to do with that shit too.
I don't know what's scarier, the dead boy saving the other boy's life, or POS dad.
Yeah, I would say the dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would know. I don't know if that's. I wouldn't call that one spooky, but some sort of intervention.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know. Hearing a voice like that in your car.
that's pretty spooky. Yeah,
Yeah.
freaked me out a
And
little
like
bit.
knowing that, okay, this could have been a dead boy too talking to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Even though it was great that they found him, and it's still unsettling, I guess.
Hell, I'll be sitting in my car, not doing much, and I'll hear just like creaking of the stuff creaking, and I'm like, is someone in the back of my fucking car?
Hello.
Someone get in my car. I've been in here the whole time.
You ever talk to it?
No. It's just the cage creaking.
I have a gun.
Please go away. I don't want to deal with anything.
Don't want any trouble, mister.
Oh, that's funny. Alrighty, let's do since we're going with children, this isn't about a child, but it's about a doll.
A doll.
Yeah.
Ooh, what kind of doll?
A possessed
Oh, those are the
doll.
worst.
They are the worst. A doll, thought to be possessed by a restless spirit, has gained notoriety as the most haunted in the world. It has reportedly attacked 17 men. The doll's owner, Lee Steer, bought it from eBay to showcase it at his Haunted Objects Museum in Rotherham, South Yorkshire in England. He reportedly experienced a burning sensation when the entity allegedly marked a pentagram on his back. Another individual was recorded having his shirt pulled up by the spirit known as Elizabeth. At least 15 other men claim to have been scratched by the doll, which has also been associated with triggering fire alarms, moving objects, and causing electronic disturbances in videos. Lee, a paranormal investigator, bought the doll for his Haunted Objects Museum after learning about its strong dislike for men. He believes while women are around, the doll causes objects to move and lights to flicker. However, the doll becomes particularly aggressive towards men, the Daily Star reported. It got especially violent after Lee had added items from the Conjuring movie series to his collection. Lee claimed the doll attacked him during an investigation with Sarah, his partner and colleague. It was then that Lee shared an experience of feeling a burning sensation on his neck, which later shifted to his back after he was told about scratches there. He suspects the doll strongly dislikes men, especially married ones. Lee recounted an incident in which a perfume bottle mysteriously flew off the shelf in Sarah's presence. The reason behind the doll's actions remain unclear. Some speculate that it might be connected to past mistreatment by a man or an unfortunate wedding, leading to the doll's haunting behavior. It could also be the fact that Elizabeth has always been the center of attention in the museum, and we're getting new items in, and she's feeling a bit jealous. Yeah, that sounds about right. We we've got famous items from The Conjuring now, and maybe she is feeling a bit forgotten. So she is making herself known in the most extreme way, Lee said. I suspect it to be the most haunted doll, he added.
I wonder why he doesn't like married men,
Maybe they were dick to her. Her husband was an asshole.
or she never got married and just
Ah,
jealous.
that could be it. He did
Ah,
say it was jealous, so.
how dare you get married? Dolls are creepy.
Dolls are creepy. My mom has a few of those dolls in her house that are old dolls.
Okay, so she's got the Halloween dolls that are meant to be creepy, which are very creepy. But the dolls that are not meant to be creepy are creepier than the Halloween
Yes,
dolls.
those porcelain ones that she's
Yes.
got in her house. They
That
freak
just sit
me the
there.
hell out.
Yeah. Watch you sleep.
Watches, yeah, especially because we sleep in that room when we're over there. Super creepy.
No
Yeah. Well, then you have that doll.
thanks. Okay. So my parents got me that doll when I was, I want to say like 6 or 7 years old, and it was like the American Girl doll that they have now. But this one, like, they resemble you, so it's like the same hair color and eye color, so it's look exactly like you. It came with a dress that I got a dress too that matched it, and it had like a little stand. You'd like put it on. You can just put it on the stand while
Because you're not supposed to play with it, even though it's a doll.
I mean, yeah, it's not like a porcelain doll. It wouldn't break or anything, but yeah.
Oh, I know. I know what it is. I've seen it. You have it in our house.
It's creepy. It was always kind of creepy. Not when I got it. I think I liked it when I got it because it was, it was a doll. It was a girl, so it was
Looks like
cute.
you.
It
It's
looked
got
like me.
blue
So.
eyes, blonde hair, everything. Yeah.
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 But I've had it this whole time. It's moved with me everywhere. Kind of never really thought about it. And now we have kids, and our daughter likes it. And she had ripped the hair off of it, so now it's bald. And doesn't have clothes.
Yeah.
I think she's creepier now than she ever was. But I think
she's like a mistreated doll, like the one in Toy Story.
Oh yeah. What did I think of that? She's out for revenge or something. But I think Logan heard you say it was creepy, so now he's said it, and she's always like, "Can I play with the creepy doll?"
Yeah, they love it because it's a creepy doll now.
But now it's even more fun because you get off real late, 4 in the
Dicks.
morning.
Dicks.
You come home and the house is pretty dark, and it's your son's idea, but I've been playing along with it, and we'll set it up in ominous little situations, in the dark corner or sitting on a chair or on the staircase when you turn around.
The stairs scared the shit out of me the other day. When you had it on the stairs, I turn around, it's dark, and I see it. At first, I think it's like our youngest daughter. I'm like, what the fuck? But it scared the shit out of me. And then when you had it on the stool sitting there in front of the garage door, so when I open the garage doors right there, I'm like, God damn it. I got aggravated with the one on the stairs, though, because I grabbed it and I threw it across the room.
He wanted to put like a secret recorder cam or something just to see your reaction too. He was so excited about it. He's like, maybe we'll wake up to his screams. I was like, oh my God.
Little dick, man.
It's cute, but you know what? I really like scaring you. So
yeah, I know you do.
Easily.
What did you do at your parents' house to me the other day?
I did it the other day.
Last time a couple times we were there, I think I was coming out of the bathroom and you walked up and you just went, ah! And I was like, ah! Scared the crap out of me. So her parents' house, we have had some weird incidences there, and Laura will tell a story about that in a little bit. But it is a creepy. There's been some creepy things happen to a lot of us.
Let's talk about the creepy things.
Let's do it now. Let's get into it. Let's get right into it.
Because you live there too. I've lived there, obviously. My parents have, everybody but my dad. I think my dad was the only one that never really caught on to anything. But, so we moved there 2006. I want to say, I was like, I'm not going to state how old I was. Everyone will do math. But, it was just me and them. My brother, he lived there, but he didn't because he was in college, but we had a room upstairs for him. And, I lived in one house my whole entire life. It was like 2 streets down, no problems, no issues, had a great childhood, la-di-da life, We move into this house, and it was like, what happened? Like, I had started experiencing these terrible nightmares where I would experience like lucid dreaming where I'd wake up, but I wasn't really awake. And that was the first time those ever happened. Like these creepy demonic figures would be in my room, and it was just weird. So, playing off of like psychology and stuff, I'm like, well, I'm just stressed out. I'm starting this new thing, or I'm doing this, or it's a new house, whatever. But it just continued. And I still have them to this day. They're not as bad as when they lived there. But my first incident there was upstairs is where my brother had his room. He was off to college, like I said. There was another room that's connected by a bathroom that he had like a desk or something in, and we had the treadmill that me and my mom used. My parents were not home. It was middle of the day, and I had a dog. She was very old. She never could get up the stairs, so she was always downstairs. I was walking on the treadmill, about to start running, and I heard somebody sneeze in his room. I'm like, oh, he's home. Like, I know you expect him to be home so soon. And I go into his room and nobody's there. And I go out into the hallway. Nobody's there. Go downstairs. Nobody's there. Called my mom. She's like miles away on a walk with my dad. And my dog is outside. And I went back into my room and I did not come out until they came home. And then my mom had some instances where she was sitting on the couch. They have like an open floor plan. Behind them is the kitchen, like the counter is like right there. But if you're sitting on the couch, you're looking the other way. And she said she was just sitting there watching TV, and she thought me or my dad came into the kitchen and started like making a sandwich or a snack or something. And she just turns around and she's like, "What are you making?" And no one was there. And then one night, kind of the same instance, she was sitting on the couch, heard somebody in the hallway, and she looked over to the staircase and she saw someone go up the staircase. I was sleeping. I think my dad was sleeping. No one was there. And then there was
Yeah, tell him the big one.
Well, no, this one, she thought there was someone living in her attic upstairs.
Oh, I remember that's when we were living there.
Yeah.
Because I remember going into the attic because it's a giant attic, and I was clearing it with my gun, like looking for
Yeah.
somebody to see if there was someone in there.
We would put like crappy tape on the outside to see if like it broke during the night. But things would be moved out in the game room area, and it was just really weird. We could hear like footsteps in there. Like, it was just creepy.
Yeah, when we lived there for a little bit, we moved from our home area to Corpus and then back here because I was doing a contract job, and we lived with them for about a year. And I got up very early for my job at the time. I was like 3 in the morning, and every morning we would leave the room we were staying in, and then I have to walk past the staircase, but upstairs I just heard footsteps.
What time would you leave?
And it was about between 3 and 4 in the morning, and it was just back and forth, back and forth. And I would never look up there. I would just walk right past the stairs, make my coffee, and leave. And it just freaked me out. But especially from the stories I've heard, and then the one incident you had. So.
Well, I'm going to tell the story. This happened after my incident. That did too. But my brother and my sister-in-law actually lived there for a couple months. Same situation. They were moving from house to house, needed a place to stay. They were staying in my room. And I remember my sister-in-law telling me she was in bed. She was waiting for my brother to come home. And it was really late at night. She had felt him come into the room and like felt the warmth of his body and everything. And like she was leaning over to kiss him to say hello, and no one was there. And she texted him, and he was like, "Yeah, I just left the airport." And there was like nobody in the room at all, and that just it gives me chills even thinking that.
Well, didn't she have an incident too where she was sitting on the couch and her phone was sitting there and her phone just started playing music randomly? So
I don't think the song. I think I could be wrong. This could be false memory, but I'm pretty sure that song wasn't even on her phone. Like it just started playing a weird song, just creepy. But yeah, I was in my dad's office, which you sit in his office, you can see the front hallway, and then you can see like the staircase, and then kind of where the dining room goes into a hallway that goes to the kitchen. And I was talking to you on the phone. We were just dating.
This is when we just started dating, yeah.
Yeah. I was doing some homework. My parents were in Colorado visiting my brother. It was just me in the house. Been there, I don't know, probably a couple days at this point. Probably another couple days after. And just talking to you. And I look up, and a man walks from the dining room into the kitchen.
What was he wearing?
Yeah, he was wearing one of those pioneer hats. He was tall and slender. He had like good body structure, and like the way he was walking, just arms straight down. Just he knew where he was going. Just walked into the kitchen, and I told you about it. I'm like, what the hell? I just saw a man in my kitchen. You're like, call the police. So I call the police, and I just stay in the office until they come in, and then tell them what happened. I go outside and wait for them. Two guys just like clear the house. They're like, nobody's here. I'm crazy. Like, no, I saw a man clear as day, everything. Like, it was so creepy. And so after that, they left, closed on my, locked the doors and everything, and called my parents, told them what happened. Then I went into my room, which I felt safe in there. I talked to you. I probably fell asleep on the phone.
Yeah, we did that a lot.
Yeah, this one. But I remember waking up about 3 o'clock in the morning to the loudest sound of white noise. And it was our intercom system. I know it was an old intercom system, but it was throughout the whole entire house. And that's all I heard was white noise, just static, and freaking out, trying to, turn it off in my room, but it's not where you have to go to the motherboard, I guess. So I go out there, and it's just old piece of crap. I didn't know what to do with it. And I pressed the off button, and it didn't turn off. And I did not know what to do at that point. I was freaking out about like what happened earlier. This noise that's never happened to us before when we moved in the house. Just this specific night, which is great for me. And so I went back in my room and I turned the volume down on mine, but you could hear it still through the house. And then I don't know, probably about 5-6 minutes later, it finally shut off. But
Weird.
it's so weird.
And if you know anything about like paranormal type stuff or even like demonology or demon talk, they say there's a demon. It's called the Hat Man that wears that exact same thing, and he is. I don't know if he's the devil or he's like the devil's right hand man. Like it's supposed to be like a super powerful, freaky ass demon.
It's, you know, when we heard that from your friend who actually sent us the clip in today, because it gave me chills when he told us that years later.
Mm-hmm.
My parents live on the one of the top three most deadliest lakes in Texas. I mean,
Yeah.
that kind of plays into that, I guess, that maybe all these dead bodies are like surfacing in here. They're ghosts or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and
Or
he's claiming them. I don't know.
and it's a man-made lake, so who knows
Mhm.
what happened on any of that property?
That's
A
true,
long,
too.
long time ago, back in the 1800s. I mean,
Pioneers,
pioneer
yeah.
peoples going through and could have been
Yeah.
killed.
Because it wasn't just like, of course, you see a man that's not supposed to be in your house. Of course, it's scary. But I had like this ominous like feeling. It wasn't like I'm in danger. There's a scary stranger in my house. I was like, I'm in danger. This isn't real. Like that's how I felt. It wasn't like, okay, I need to go protect myself. Like even if I got a knife or something, what am I gonna do with a ghost? Like,
This isn't working.
It goes right through you. What the hell? But no, and even through like my dreams and stuff, I've never seen him ever again. Like that was just like a one time thing.
That's crazy.
It
No,
was
I,
creepy.
I remember you telling me about some of those dreams that you've had. I mean, you came out and saw me, and we were staying in a hotel, and what was it? It was one of those nice hotels, had a hot tub in the room,
Yeah.
and like you woke up freaking out because you had like this dream, and it looked real of like dead people bleeding
Mhm.
into the
They were taking a bath in like blood.
yeah.
But the thing that it scared me the most was I had already woken up and had this conversation with you, and they were still in the bath. And then I wake up and actually have the conversation with you. I think that lucid part of it, just that one freaks me out more than anything. Because it's like, am I actually awake or is this?
Is this real?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I mean, who knows what the hell happened in that hotel
No,
room?
that's true. Yeah, but it seems so real, and I don't know. It's just creepy. I don't like lucid dreams at all.
I think you might have that sixth sense.
The shinning?
No.
Oh, the sixth sense. Okay.
Or the shinning, same thing. It's basically the same thing.
That's true, yeah. No, I don't think that. I just think when my mind's under a lot of stress, this happens, but I don't like the lucid part of it.
Yeah.
Just give me a normal, average, nightmare, and I'll be all right with it.
Right? Like I'm falling and then I wake up before I hit or something, right?
Yeah, or like a spooky, face or something. I jolt awake and I'm actually awake. Like it just doesn't happen for me.
That's crazy.
Mm.
Man, yeah, that house. I mean, it's still. I can't remember. I want to say it was our niece. She said something one time though, and she said, "Well, what about the ghost upstairs? You remember
Oh
that?"
yeah, she was young too, and she.
That scared the ever living shit out of
Yeah.
me. Because yeah, she was young. We've never talked about it in front of her because she was
Yeah.
really young.
Mhm.
And then, what the other day we were there, and our daughter goes, "Who's that?" And we're like, "What?" And then, but she was talking about a picture. I was like, "What the? Oh, not again."
Not you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that house is creepy, and they still live there, so we're still there, going there.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I
I
mean, we'll spend the night every once in a while upstairs, and it's still like eerie. Like it still creeps me
get you.
out.
Yeah, I always get a
Yeah.
little bit, but you know what? I since we haven't lived there, I haven't had an experience.
No.
And my buddy that's gonna give his story or later, we even tried to do a little the SLS thing where you talk and ask the questions and see if it answers you and stuff,
Yeah.
and like we didn't get anything. There wasn't anything special, but
And I mean, you got drunk one night and just put the recorder on our phones and try to do it.
oh yeah, that's right. We
Yeah.
didn't hear anything,
No.
so I don't know. It's definitely there's definitely an ominous feeling,
It really
and
is.
it's not so much downstairs either. It's only when you're upstairs,
Yeah.
even during the daytime. Like when I'm upstairs during the daytime, I
Yeah.
just I have a weird feeling, you
It
know.
is. I always figured like my room was a safe space. Like I was in there, I was fine. But
Right, right, yeah.
going out there, the upstairs especially, yeah, it was creepy. And I mean, it made me feel a little bit better that we weren't just crazy. That like all of a sudden everyone else started having these
Right, yeah,
incidents,
because I thought
and
it was just me at first, or us, because
yeah.
and I heard the footsteps. No
Mhm.
one, I never heard anybody else's stories, and then finally everybody started telling us their stories. So I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, good, I'm not crazy.
Especially my brother and my sister-in-law. That made me feel a lot better.
Yeah, because they're not really into that kind of
I
stuff.
don't
Or
know if they
I've
are, but
never
you
hear them
never
talk
heard of
about
it.
it.
Yeah.
So
And now it's kind of the same kind of stuff we were dealing with.
yeah,
Creepy
and they were
stuff.
living there though. Like it was when they were
Yeah.
living there. Like I said, we're not living there anymore. I've never haven't had any other experiences. Never heard anything, and I'm actually more brave now to go up there and look, and I try to see.
Yeah.
But and I think I've ever probably about a year or so ago, we were there and I was upstairs by myself, probably going to the bathroom or something. And I got out. I'm like, hey, if you're here, do something. I want to know. I want to know if this is real or not.
Did it do anything?
Nothing. Didn't get anything.
Yeah.
So
They don't.
jerk
Yeah.
ghost. Just wants to scare you. Doesn't want to be cool.
Oh, I don't think I ever told you that one. This is when this
Ooh,
is
new for me too, huh?
maybe I don't know. Maybe I did tell you this one, but I had a friend spend the night. We were like not great friends. Like sleeping in the same bed would be probably weird. We were older, so
Ah.
I don't know. So I let her have my bed, and I went upstairs. My brother basically was moved out, so it was just like a bed up there, and yeah. So I was sleeping in the bed. I was like getting that place where like I'm falling asleep, and then I heard jiggling on the door. So I got up. No one was behind the door. I actually didn't really think of anything of it. I was just like, this is like not new to me, but like maybe I was just hearing things. I was just really tired.
Yeah.
So I went back in bed, and a couple of minutes later, I hear like shampoo sounding, like falling in the bathroom. It was like really loud too, and it freaked me out instantly because I knew there was nothing in the bathroom. Because when my brother does visit, he takes his toiletries with him. There's nothing in there. And I
Hmm.
go in there, and sure enough, there was nothing in the bathroom, and I was the only one upstairs.
Weird. See, if it would have been my switch, I would have been my friend sleep upstairs.
Hindsight's 2020.
Yeah,
I would
right,
have done
right.
that.
Yeah, but I would have done it no matter what. Like it wouldn't have been like, oh, I should have done that. I'm like, no, I would have done that knowing what's going on. Fuck them. I'm not gonna get killed.
Well, this was before the man walking in the kitchen, so
Okay,
it's kind of
all
like
right.
I think it was after the sneeze. That could be a false memory too, but it was during that time. It was like pretty new. We were at the house, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Jeez.
I didn't sleep that night.
Yeah, I
didn't remember
bet. I
that.
bet. Well, wait, we were over there about a month, or well, no, it was when we had the freeze and our pipes burst, so we had to
Mm.
go over there at your parents' house. We're taking showers and stuff, and you heard the door jiggle, and it
Yeah.
freaked you out, but it was really just your dad because he didn't know you were in there.
That's right. It was him the whole time, wasn't it?
Oh,
It's
it's
been
just
my
been him.
dad
He's just
the
been
whole
fucking
time.
with all of
He
us
really
for years, and he's just sitting there laughing about it. And no one knows. When your mom looked back, he ducked down real quick. And you thought they were in Colorado. He's like, I'm gonna wear this outfit and run out real quick.
When you woke up early in the early, he would He'd set his alarm earlier than
Yeah,
yours
just
to go
because he knew he go
upstairs.
he won't look. He's scared.
Oh my gosh, that'd be the ultimate. Like,
God, if you're doing that, please stop.
hilarious. Kudos to you, Dad. If it was you the whole time.
That's all but an elaborate prank. Oh man. Alrighty. I got another story or a news article about a murderer. A murderer's curse. Murderer's curse haunts British pub chair for over 300 years.
Pub chair?
A chair, a pub, in a pub, like a bar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was missing something.
This legend dates back to 1702 when Thomas Busby, a criminal, was executed for murdering his father-in-law and allegedly cursed a chair in the pub. A local man, well, not local here because this is obviously in England, but a local man, Wade Radford, has discovered that the more than chilling legend behind the former pub in the village, the Busby Stoop, according to the Metro. The story goes that a convicted murderer by the name of Thomas Busby cursed a chair in the early part of the 18th century, which doomed the many people who sat in it subsequently. It is purported, British talk, it is purported that Busby had been a criminal involved in the business of coin forgery and is said to have murdered his father-in-law in the heat of an argument. He is said to have, while being taken from the inn to be executed and subsequently hanged, placed a curse on anyone who dares sit in his chair. Little jealousy on his chair, huh? Yeah. That doll's jealous of married guys. He's just jealous of his chair. His comfortable chair. His butt groove is in it. After his execution and subsequent hanging, the pub took on his name and a reputation that sent chills down people's spine. The chair was removed to Thirsk Museum after rumors of people who sat in it coming to some sort of misfortune. It is now securely attached to the wall. Intrigued by the story, Wade Radford, a then 17-year-old paranormal investigator, examined the Busby Stoop in 2008 and claimed to have captured audio evidence of Thomas Busby's ghost. According to the Metro, Wade, now 32, moved to the Northeast earlier this year and suddenly realized his new home is only 40 minutes up the road from Thirsk. Driven by nostalgia for his ghost-hunting teenage years, he went back to the village, but realized when he arrived that the former Busby Stoop Inn had been converted into an Indian restaurant. He said, "It wasn't your typical pub. There was a sign hanging outside with the cursed chair and a noose hanging outside, but that's all gone. I thought I have all this stuff from the nearly 20 years ago. It's such a great story, and so many cool things happened while I was there. I was compelled to have a trip down memory lane." The legend of how the chair came to be is such a fascinating tale and a real part of the Yorkshire legacy. My feelings of disappointment over how it looks now was so strong and unexpected, I felt compelled to do something about it. I got engulfed in writing a book about the history and what we found. He aims to keep the legend of the locals alive by detailing all the mysterious events connected with the Busby Stoop. That's pretty cool. Curses and shit.
Is it a chair? A bar chair?
Yeah, a pub stool or chair, pub chair. I guess that was his seat that he sat on every night to drink.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm curious to know, like, what kind of ghost sounds would you hear from a chair you're sitting your ass on?
Farts.
Like, what else would you hear from that?
Well, farts are technically ghosts of the animals we've eaten.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah. I mean, curse the whole place. Why would you just curse your chair?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or curse anybody by the name with my father-in-law's name or like his family?
Yeah.
That's really I'm gonna curse that chair.
No one can sit in it ever again. I wonder what happened to the people that sat in it, though.
I don't know. It's just a series of misfortunes.
Like bad diarrhea or something for the night.
Wearing white pants and you have diarrhea. It's a serious misfortune.
That'd be my luck if I had a hoax or curse on anything. It would just be that. Just a minor inconvenience.
Just minor inconveniences. you can't find your keys for 10 minutes because it makes you late, but then you find them. Just a dick curse.
Really? Just an annoyance curse. I have no other powers. That's all I can do. Still gonna do it.
Nice. You got any more?
No, but I got these creepy like two-liners.
Oh, those are always fun.
Yeah. You want to hear one?
I do.
Okay.
And then I'll tell you one that I remember.
Yeah, didn't you email that into?
I emailed it to another paranormal
Yeah,
show, and they read it on the air.
read
Yeah.
It was a good one. All right, here's one. There was a picture in my phone of me sleeping. I live alone.
Yeah, that's always creepy. That's really weird.
Here's another one.
Yeah.
This one's a little bit longer, but I thought it was creepy. Parents beware. I begin tucking him into bed, and he tells me, Daddy, check the monster under my bed. I look underneath for his amusement and see him, another him, under the bed, staring back at me, quivering and whispering, Daddy, there's somebody on my bed.
Oh, man, anything with kids that always freaks me out. Like your little thing you used to have of our infant standing there just looking at you.
It's so creepy. It's worse when it's your own child, too.
Yeah,
like,
that's
God.
creepy. And then what's the one I had? It was the faces you see when you sleep in your dreams are just the ghost. Or the faces you see in your dreams are the ghost watching you sleep.
Ugh. That's creepy.
Yeah.
That's really
Yeah.
yeah. How about
Super creepy.
I woke up to hear knocking on glass. At first, I thought it was the window until I heard it come from the mirror again.
Ugh. Stuff just gives you chills.
They celebrated their first successful cryogenic freezing. He had no way of letting them know he was still conscious.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is it Walt Disney?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
I mean, geez, you just sit there frozen. Would you be cold the whole time too?
I would assume so, but maybe it'd be so cold you'd just be in shock.
That'd be creepy.
It'd be very creepy.
Or Ted Williams' head. You think he's conscious still?
Ted Williams?
The baseball player? Yeah, he cryogenically
Did he
froze
really?
his head. That's what I heard.
Just
Yeah.
his head?
Just his head.
What's
yeah.
the point of that?
I don't know.
Huh. I know, like, Disney had a heart attack, right? And
I don't know what
he
happened
froze
to Disney.
himself.
But I know he.
Why would they do that?
I think he was waiting for Hitler to win and to bring him back because I'm pretty sure he was a Nazi.
Wouldn't he be in, like, a state of having another heart attack?
Don't sue me, Disney.
I think that's well known. But just your head, though, what does that do?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure. Look it up. Let's see what they say.
That's interesting.
But yeah, why would you do just your head if that,
Yeah. Maybe for like science, but he was a baseball player.
Yes, and a Marine hero,
Oh, sorry.
Marine
Did he
pilot.
get hit a lot in the head?
As a baseball player?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think so.
No. Was he an alcoholic or something?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just
I
trying to
don't know
think.
the man.
You knew about his head. I thought you knew more. I'm sorry. Just very odd. I think the whole point of that too.
Oh, his head and body were frozen separately.
Did he get decapitated, or did they do that afterwards?
They screwed up, I think. What I'm reading here, it says it was supposed to be his full body,
Oh.
and they screwed up and decapitated him.
Well, I'm just gonna say he probably is not coming back after that.
Not after that one.
I don't know.
Bunch of dicks. Desecrating a war hero.
They have been trying head transplants in China.
That is true, yeah.
Maybe.
Weird stuff. Weird stuff. All right. Well, I'm out of stories for the evening.
Oh.
So why don't we listen to my friend's story?
Okay.
So this is my friend James. I've known him for, like I said, several years. We met in middle school. He is a decorated combat veteran. Great dude. Awesome guy. Lover of paranormal, cryptids, anything like that. So we get along with that. We talk about that stuff all the time. He'll just randomly call me to tell me random stuff about ghosts. Or last night he texted me. He's like, "Look at the moon right now. It's really ominous," or something. I was like, "All right." But I love it. But he's a good dude. So let's listen to his story.
So my story takes place in 2016. In the spring of 2016, I was working a rotating shift in an operations center for a major financial institution. I was temporarily staying with my folks at the time because my apartment had been flooded. There was a fire above me, and my apartment flooded below because the sprinklers kicked on. And so for a couple of weeks, I lived with my folks who are not too far away, and I was on the swing shift at the time. So I got off at 11 p.m., and by the time I made it back to the house, it was probably close to midnight or so. And so I would have an evening ritual on the swing shift. I would get back probably around midnight. I would listen to Coast to Coast AM, talk about, hear them talk about spooky stories and spooky stuff. And I would usually play video games until 3 or 4 a.m. when I went to bed. And so it was probably about 2 o'clock in the morning. I was playing Grand Theft Auto online. I was trying to make my online character money by doing races and trying to get good at them. I never actually got good at those races. But I was listening to Coast AM, and I had my lights out in my room. But in my room, there was an attached bathroom. The bathroom light was on, and I had, of course, the light of the big flat screen TV that I was playing Grand Theft Auto on. And the Coast to Coast AM topic of the night was about Ouija boards and roving demons and things of a character or a demon that they said if this ever manifests itself in a Ouija board, that you need to tell it to leave and say goodbye. They referred to the character as Zuzu or Zozo or something, but basically, general rule of thumb, by the way, if you're messing around with a Ouija board and you're talking to something and it starts spelling out that phrase, you need to tell it to go away. And you need to say goodbye to it. Do not fold up your Ouija board. Don't throw it away. Don't just stop what you're doing. You have to tell it to go. The general consensus behind this was that it's a roving demon. Some say it's Cain. Some say it's something else, but it's something very malevolent, and it's roving, so it's constantly on the move, looking for people to invite it in or whatever. And so as I was listening to this one night, it was probably between 2 and 3 a.m., it was getting a little spooky, but I was just playing Grand Theft Auto and drinking wine, but I had like 2 glasses, so I was not drunk. My light is on in the bathroom, and I hear something, and I forget what it was, but it was like my razor or a comb or something that fell to the ground. And I was playing an online game, so I didn't, you can't pause it, so I was just, wow, what the hell was that? But it was enough to make me think there was a rodent or an insect or something that may have like knocked it on the ground. And I leave my game while I'm playing, which takes a lot to get me to leave an online race, unless it's a big deal. But I thought that was weird. I need to see if there's a rodent or something knocking my shit off the bathroom sink. I walk up. And as I'm walking up, I had a bottle of hair gel, and yes, I still wore hair gel in 2016. I saw that whatever it was, I don't remember what it was, my razor, my comb or something, I saw it lying on the ground by the mat, and then I see my bottle of hair gel just completely get knocked to the floor. Without touching it, without anything behind it, no rodents. I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared at all. I walked up to it thinking that there was a rodent or something. I just needed to find out what it was, if my parents had a rodent problem, which I thought it was. But when I saw my hair gel fall, I looked behind it. There was nothing. This was a heavy bottle of hair gel. It was at least, it was over a pound. I can say it was probably like between 3 and 5 pounds. So this was not something that would have fallen over or been knocked over by the air conditioning or anything like that. This was something that should not have fallen over, and I saw it get tossed over as this discussion of Coast to Coast is playing on in the background. So I remember never feeling afraid at the time, but I immediately walked over to the radio that I had on, and I switched it off. And I continued to play my video game, and don't want to hear that name, or I honestly don't like people repeating that name. I don't like, there's characters in major movies, famous movies, It's a Wonderful Life with the same name or something, but I remember that name being uttered over the radio, and I remember weird stuff happening in my bathroom. And so since then, I will never mess with a Ouija board. I will never mess with anything that has that name. And I think there is some weird power or something connected to that name, and it had an effect on me one night. So, love you guys. Great podcast. Keep it going, and hopefully I don't have any more spooky stories for you.
Well, that's a bit creepy. I know I've slept on the floor in that room
Oh.
when we were in high school, when we
Did y'all do Ouija board?
yeah, no, we never messed with that.
That's good.
Yeah,
Could have been worse.
I don't think he likes it, so, as he said.
Doesn't sound like it.
But I remember, if I'm correct, I remember that bottle of hair gel because it was like a 5-gallon bottle. It was ginormous, and he's had it for a lot of years.
Is it the same bottle?
I think so. I mean,
Oh.
I don't know anybody that can use that much. I mean, James used a lot of hair gel back then, but I don't know anybody that could use that much hair gel.
Maybe the ghost was just jealous because he always saw him using it.
Maybe the ghosts had bad hair and they just wanted
Maybe.
better hair.
Yeah,
There you go, James. Maybe it wasn't even a bad thing. They just wanted to do their hair, and maybe they wanted your advice.
problem solved. Don't be scared.
Well, thank you, James. We appreciate you sending that in, man.
It
That was
creepy.
awesome.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, that was our last story for the night. Really hope you enjoyed our spooky episode. I know we enjoyed doing it. We if you can't tell, we really enjoy spooky stuff, horror movies, and it's fun.
It is fun.
Makes us happy.
I think we had some spooky stories.
Yeah, we have had some weird experiences.
Yeah.
Say that. I think I already told my one experience at the cemetery at work
Mm.
in a podcast before, but it's just weird things you see.
Thanks, James, for
yeah.
sharing yours with us too.
Yes, thank you so much. But guys, if you want to get in touch with us, you can always reach out to the policecondition@gmail.com or reach out on Facebook. We're always here to talk, and we'll get back to some more serious stuff.
Maybe.
Well, Halloween was coming up, and we felt it would be a fun episode.
Yeah. It's good.
Very good.
Very good. Let's go watch a scary movie now.
Yeah, we're gonna go watch a scary movie and cuddle. But happy Halloween, everybody! Again, follow us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube, get on Apple and Spotify. We're on there also. So
Use your Ouija boards and summon us.
you can summon us with
We
a
can
Ouija board if you really want to. I'm gonna be spooky. I might wake up to that. I don't know. All right, everybody. My name's Ryan,
I'm Laura.
and we're 1042.